At least as I write this, the market is going down, but don't get too scared just yet. You might be wondering what those splashy whales are doing. Yes, they are going all in and taking advantage of the stress of store owners who are about to run away in a hurry. Whales. A lot of XRP has been bought by them. When we talk about XRP, have you noticed that the Bollinger Bands are getting tighter again? Is there going to be a breakout? What do you remember about the year 2024? After that, bang, the bands were the tightest they'd ever been. We hit an all-time high right away. Are we in for some exciting times? Make a bet. Before we begin, let me be very clear. It's clear that this is not financial advice, and I'm not an expert on money. I promise that nothing I say or write will change your mind about whether to buy or sell. I'm just a crypto fan who likes making slow YouTube movies. Just a fun thing to do. Let's look at where we are now that that's over with. The price of XRP is $2. Right now, it's funny that it dropped to $2 just before I hit record. I hope that it has recovered by the time you see this. Don't worry if it hasn't happened, though. It's all part of the process. The market is going in sync as usual. This is not the end of the circle. Unless, of course, this time things are different. On the other hand, we all know how that line usually ends. I don't believe it. It went down to about $1.79 but it has recently gone up to just above $80,000. The crypto fear and greed measure, on the other hand, is a scary 16 out of 100. Keep in mind that this number is only changed once every 24 hours. I think the score will drop below 16 if things don't change today. This is because Bitcoin is hitting $79,000 and pulling the market down with it. Just gut feelings. You know what? Sometimes your gut is right. Visit Ali Martinez's most recent blog post to read more about charts. He's saying that the market is feeling a lot of fear right now. However, this is the issue. The pendulum will swing back to great greed at some point, whether it's in a few weeks or a few months. Write down what I say. I never say that I can tell you when something will happen, but it does happen every time. Oh. It's not going away tomorrow. It has been going through these huge price changes and high amounts of volatility for 16 years. This is just the next part of the same story. Look at the information from afar. Check out the charts. It's really not that hard. This is how Bitcoin works. It happens a lot. If a bear market really is coming, the market will get better, even if it lasts for years. We're not going away. Stressed out about drops like these, it doesn't help. Keep your cool. Keep your mind focused. Like Ali Martinez, you should get it. He once said, "Be greedy when other people are afraid." Do you know what that is? In a way, it's a new take on Warren Buffett's advice. People who are greedy when other people are scared should be avoided. That was a mistake on my part, but you get the idea. That's why it's called classic wisdom. It does its job. Most of the time, the crowd's opinion is wrong. Really, it's wrong almost all the time. So the fact that people are panicking right now shouldn't come as a surprise. At the moment, XRP whales are moving quietly. As you said, they're buying, but I'll talk about that in more depth later in the movie. Please keep this in mind. Panicking is the last thing you should do. Last night, Charting Guy wrote an interesting post. The crypto fear and greed index got as low as 10 out of 100, which is very low. True fear at its worst. The day before, it was 25, but still extreme fear. That is, however, a 15-point drop in just one day. That's crazy, huh? This makes me feel strong. There have only been a few times when it has been 10 or less. That being said, for those who still believe, it's usually a sign that the risk-reward relationship is off. At this point, the smart money comes into play. They understand what's going on and take assets while the green hands are selling in fear. It's more important to be in the right zone than to time the bottom perfectly. When feelings are this low, you can be pretty sure that you're close. Oh, and Mark Jesko also told a funny story. He started Morgan Creek Capital, a company with a very interesting past, and is now its CEO and CEIO. But I'll say more about that later. Things are getting more heated. This news seemed very big in 2019. The kind that makes you stand up and move around. Wow, this is going to be history. At the end of February 2019, CoinDesk reported that Morgan Creek's $40 million venture fund now has 2 state pension funds as anchor investors. Why was this so important? It was the first time that public pension funds invested in cryptocurrency, and they did so in companies that were making the industry and Bitcoin better. Bitcoin was a part of it, but it wasn't the only thing. Looking back, this was a very clear sign of where things were going. And I have to say, it was really exciting to watch. At that time, Bitcoin had only been around for 10 years. The market for cryptocurrencies was also still pretty new. In 2017, seeing the room change so quickly was like going to a place you've never been before. Mark Jesko, the head of Morgan Creek Capital, knows that as time goes on, the volatility doesn't even bother him. I've seen enough of his talks to know that he's all in. So trust me when I say that the crypto terror and greed index, which he just put out, was at an extremely scary 10 out of 100. What did you say in answer? Investors are the only people in the world who rush out of the store when there is a sale. Doesn't that make sense? People run away in fear when the stock market crashes and stocks are very cheap, or when the value of cryptocurrencies drops, making them cheap. It's also the best time to start, which is funny. Do you not believe it's crazy? No matter what, people are still going to people. They won't change, but you don't need to. You are free to go in any direction you want and trust your gut. Honestly, I can't say for sure what would be best for you. I am aware, though, that most people make mistakes all the time. Another thing is that people who go against the grain usually win. Crypto says it. Michael, who looks at charts, he said not long ago that the bull market isn't really over until we get a full-on alt season. He thinks it's coming, even if you can't see it. I agree with him. It is clear that an all season is in the works. Just so you know, Michael is the same guy who correctly predicted that XRP would break out this market cycle. You can be sure that there will be another big change soon because he did a great job. When will it happen? Not if it will happen. To be honest, this time is the same. Whales never get caught in the middle of something. If they buy, the game isn't over yet. Look at this latest story from FX Street. Even though more short-term holders are selling, XRP whales are still hopeful. Large groups of people are, in fact, sticking with it. Are you? People who bought Bitcoin for a short time, or fly-by-nighters, are getting out. The question is, who is buying? The smart money and the whales. It's not a surprise that they're doing the opposite, since that's how you make and keep your money safe. This is how it breaks down. The latest